Well, hello. Hello. What a fine Thursday morning it is. I hope everyone is doing well. Look at me. For those of you that were here on Tuesday, I finally got round to setting up a scene where you can see my big, fat, ugly face. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful time. We've got some glorious, glorious folks already in. Gaming Fishy all the way from Australia. Lovely to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Leorio24 and Wilton Boy, just a couple of minutes earlier for the follows. Really, really very much appreciated. We've got a little bit of Mike. I'm assuming, I didn't actually ask Mike, I do apologise. I'm assuming you're from Greece because of the flags. But if not, I do apologise very, very much. We also have a little bit of Rowan in, the wonderful Rowan on one, the Dutch World Cup FM star himself. How you doing, my dude? We have Crudmo in, we have the football brain ache here as well. We have a little bit of DMB. Everyone needs a little bit of DMB in their life. We have GNG, we have Lou, we have 5 gift subs from DMB. Bloody hell, you lovely gentlemen. That is gift subs to Char Char, to Eunice, to William Amp, just William, to Crudmo, and to Johnny Trotter. What an absolutely belting start. Thank you very much, my dude. We also have a little bit of Letry in. Welcome in, Letry. How you doing, my dude? Ladislav Almasi fan is in as well. Ladislav Almasi fan is currently top of our minigame leaderboard. Obviously, I've been away for a little while, so it started back up for the first time in 6 months. And we have an early leader in Ladislav Almasi fan. Well, he's joint top with Mr. Grizzly P. It's wonderful to see you. We've got Hungda Min in as well. How you doing, my dude? Now let's see. There is a little bit of chat that I need to catch up on, and I do also need to give a little shout out to GNG. So, I mean, you may have caught it if you're over on Twitch. Look, go give Lou a follow. Lou is absolutely wonderful FM streamer. His beautiful, rich Welsh voice, absolutely sensational. And also give FMGNG a follow. Currently with Calorie on his Islands on the Stream save, where he can only manage teams that are based on islands. Absolutely fabulous stuff. And if you like dulcet tones, his lilting Irish accent will do wondrous things to you. So Gaming Fishy says you gotta love a man with a beard. You know what they say, if your dad doesn't have a beard, you have 2 mums. I have not heard that before. I am trying my best to have enough beards that people might think you'd have multiple dads. It does need to, I do need I want a little bit more before I get it trimmed down. DM basis, it's still not the statistics at the moment. No, I'm afraid. No, I'm not afraid. So between the stream on Tuesday and this morning, it's all been Durham in the background. So been pushing on with that. And then we are back with Brønshøj today. I was about to say back with Bold Club, but that just means Bull Club. And all the clubs are bull clubs. So Crudmo, lovely, love every little inch of DMV. Oh, bless you, bless you. Liam Brady for the B players. That is a bold take off the top there. So let's do a little bit of admin and then we'll head on over to the game. So you might notice down at the bottom, there's I can never remember which way I'm meant to be pointing. It's that way, yes. There's a little bar with information about the save that's going on, but also a couple of things to chat about whilst we're going. We are running, I am running an alphabet goat. That is, we are looking for the greatest player of all time whose surnames start with each letter of the alphabet. On Tuesday, we did A, and chat voted Aguero is the greatest A player of all time. Today, I'm asking for your greatest B player. So FMGNG has come in and suggested Liam Brady. Now, Crudmo did say that he did some research, but he doesn't want to include the list because it has Beckham on it. And surely Beckham should count on it. Now, DM Basis asked, does Van Basten count as V or B? So I did have a little think about this as after the confusion of Brazilian names on Tuesday, is we are going with the first letter that appears on the back of their shirt. So if they're on the back of their shirt, it says Dani Alves, they're a D. On the back of the shirt, it says Van Basten, it's a V. So Van der Ven, not the Van der Ven will be in, Van der Vaart, all the V's will be quite hotly contested, I have a feeling. Bless you, Mike. Thank you very much. FM Jesus. Oh, welcome in, Bill Houdini. How you doing, sir? Never been a better time to be unemployed. Hello, my dude. Oh God, I know I don't wish to be unemployed, but I really do wish to be unemployed. God, work is dull. So he can only manage teams based on islands, but ironically hasn't managed one based on island. What is the what makes an island? I know what makes an island an island. It's fully encased. How big does an island have to be for it no longer to be an island? Because, you know, the Eurasia, Africa is just one very, very big island, right? That's what I'm working on. Mike says that FM Llama is awesome, entertaining and informative. My entire knowledge of Chilean football comes from his latest save. A fine shout there, to be fair. Now, if you aren't watching Continental King, which is FM Llama's current YouTube save, absolutely go check it out. Cracking stuff. FM Llama is just the best of us. I mean that so utterly sincerely. If I had just like 5% of Llama's charisma, I'd be a very, very happy man. So Kwame says, your big frame at the top that says MustermannFM Brønshøj Bold Club, but I've spelt Bold Club wrong. Have I now? I can't really see here things. What have I done? Have I can't see it on the computer. We'll just have to, that's how it's going to be spelt from now on. I'm coming over to Denmark and I'm telling the Danes how to spell their words. They can deal with it, right? Oh, Chris Norton Walker, thank you very much for the follow, my dude. You're an absolute gentleman. And there's a bit bingo has been redeemed as well, so we will play that in a couple of moments as well. So welcome in, Sherbs. Thank you for the redeem. How you doing, my dude? Welcome in, Ronald McGuffin. Thank you very much for the follow earlier on as well. And you've come in with a suggestion for Barthez. We've got Sergio Busquets from the Football Brainache as well. A fabulous shout. What a classy, well, I say classy player, bit of a dick, but very, very classy as a player. Greatest B player, number 1, Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer, a great shout as well. Probably be my vote personally. Bill Houdini suggested Beckenbauer as well, and Bergkamp. Love a bit of Dennis Bergkamp. Could we have Alessandro Bastoni in there? He's probably got a bit of a way to go, I would say. But he's probably, despite his relatively tender age compared to the next suggestion, Bowen, that's wild. That is a wild take. Surely Sergio Aguero is disqualified then. He is K. He's sometimes been K. Not always had Kun Aguero on the back. But also I only made the rule up between the things anyway. Steve Bruce. I mean, if we were going for greatest footballing authors, 100%. Buffon could be disqualified for being a little bit fascist. So I'll go with Batistuta because he's pretty good and has lovely hair. Oh, I love a little bit of Gabriel Batistuta. What a player. What a player. Baresi is a fine suggestion as well. Winston Bogarde. I'm putting it on the list. I don't care. You're off to Hull shortly, Chris. That's one hell of a trek. A large slime welcome in as well with Benzema. Another fabulous suggestion. Ronald McGuffin comes in with Bale. I'm gonna spend so long writing these down, I won't actually get round to play. Actually, let's be fair, I never get round to playing anyway, do I? So so we've got Marco Boog has been suggested. We've got Baggio, Babetto, Barry Bannon, just for the double barrel. I mean, okay. It's me, Ronnie. You are a man of my heart. Everyone loves a bit of wee Barry Bannon. Ben Hadima probably disqualified for 15. What are you suggesting? Sherbs? I wouldn't dare suggest anything of the sort. Right, so before we go on over and play a little bit bingo, let's head on over into the game, shall we? So I've played a little bit off stream, only finishing up the pre-season. So we've stuck with the wing play tactical style and the 4-2-3-1 as favoured by our goalkeeping coach. There's no changes there and some pretty decent results. I mean, BK Fix are a non-league team, so that win doesn't really mean anything there. But we did get a win. Helsingør are the division above us, so that's pretty encouraging, although that was at home. Brabant IF are also in the division above us, and we beat them away from home, so that was quite nice. And then we finished up with the game against Norrköping. Now, Norrköping are in our division. They were relegated from the Campo Bet 2 division the season before, and they are, like, strong favourites. Let's actually do it through the media prediction one here. So they're 3 to 10 favourites to get promoted this season. So that seems to suggest we're going to be in pretty good stead heading into this season. I do need to... I did see we scored a lovely goal in that game against BK Fix. Something I haven't seen up until this point in FM was just a really nice little bit of skill that genuinely made me watch it multiple times. Are we going to suggest Mark Bresciano? There is a deep grab that you can tell that's from the Aussie there. Let's see if I can pick a better. Can we bring the height down? So it's not that special a finish. It's just the way. Is this the right one? I forget that the highlights start so early in the move. So yeah, here we go. It's just the way he lets the ball run. Hold here, and there, the lovely little dummy to create space. Oh, that looked like actually real football for a moment. I mean, whether you're getting defensive midfielders making dummies like that in the Danish 4th division, I don't know, but it looked quite nice to me. Gareth Barry is obviously the shout. I mean, there were so many GBs that we could pick from Villa. George Boateng, probably the greatest of all time. Graham Burke, definitely Graham Burke. Bosco Balaban, double Bs, absolutely. But Mr. Grizzly P rightly says it's Batistuta. It's always Batistuta. Oh, no, he's going to Baggio, to Batistuta. Remember Mario Basler? Quality player. Absolutely quality player. So Boban. I mean, Zvonimir Boban. What a shout there. Welcome in, Gonzalo. Lovely to see you, my dude. Bill says that in reality it's Bosman. He changed world football. But a contentious take. Did he change football for the better? Because if he changed it for the worse, he can't be the greatest, right? Now I think he did. Player power, I'm very much in favour of. So yes, he did change it for the better. The other thing I want to make sure I do, because I have a feeling that Kevinho isn't around this morning, and I apologise greatly. I said about 3 times I was going to go through the game setup the other day and forgot every single time. So this is how we've set up for this. We are in the 4th division there, so we have my standard thing, which is the top 5 leagues. So we've got England, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. And then it's just the Nordic and Scandinavian countries. We've got Sweden, we've got Norway, we've got Iceland, we've got Finland, and then obviously our own division there. They're all set to the same level of detail. So everything is all competitive all senior competitive matches, apart from this, which Denmark, which is all matches. For some reason it will, if I do that, it'll always say mixed, but it's the same all the way through. It's going to run slow. But that's absolutely fine. We've got plenty of time to work through that. Cool. Right, shall we play some bingo? TB, thank you very much for the follow, my dude. How are you doing, sir? How are you? Lovely to see it. Ronnie, oh my word, George Best indeed. That is, of course, a great shout. Carlos Belabor, I've written him down. I haven't written down Asmir Begovic, I'm afraid, Shabs. Welcome in, C. Perkins. Lovely to see you, my dude. Right, let's head on over, play a little bit of bingo. So let me remember which one of these buttons I need to press here. I need to press that one there. And we should be in. So now, appearing in your chat window very soon, there will be a lovely little link. If you click on that link, it will take you over to Football Bingo. If you haven't played it before, it's relatively straightforward. Every single player gets a 4x4 grid, so 16 squares, and all our cards will be unique. They will have things like countries on them, or clubs, or competitions, or awards. We then all get the same list of 60 players, one after another. We get something like 10 seconds for each player to decide whether they match one of those squares. If they do, you click on it. Once you click on it, it's locked in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player in that spot. If you don't think they match, you can skip or let the time run out. And the goal is to try and get 16 matches. And on Tuesday, our first time back in a while, Mr. Grizzly P, right out the gate, came in with a bingo, getting 16 out of 16 correct. Now, I wouldn't say that that's the most, winning isn't the most important thing. And if you happen to come like third last, like, I don't know, maybe I did, that's not nothing to be ashamed of, right? Yeah. So some more suggestions. We've got Nicholas Bentner being suggested. I mean, what a shout. I reckon that Nicholas Bentner would put himself up for it, so that seems fair. Benzema, we've got Benzema Joe, welcome in, by the way. Right out the grave. Wow. You're the crypt keeper. Did I say right out the grave? I'm going with it. It's the taking part that counts. Exactly, DMB. Easter to of course. A Sherb's mission, don't come last. You and me both. So what we'll do is I'll give it like a couple of minutes for those that want to get involved to sign up, and then we'll give it a start. Oh, Ladislav, a massive fan, a man after my own heart, is multiple Ballon d'Or winner Aitana Bonmati, the greatest of all time. I mean, it's a very, 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 very good shout. I mean, like, overall, ignoring the alphabet for women's football, Bonmati is up there, right? I mean, you would say what it's between her, Marta, maybe Reynard. Oh yeah, I love that suggestion for Bonmati. So a little bit of context as well, whilst I give it about another minute or so, is that at the end, towards the end of the stream, maybe around 2 hours in, I will pick my favourite 5 from the suggestions and we'll put that to a vote. Sherb's coming in with Billy Bonds. There's a deep cut as well. Franco Baresi, quite possibly the best defender ever. We've got Franco Baresi, Mike, but fantastic shout. We've got Beckham as well. It's me, Ronnie. Even though there was somebody who didn't want to include them for some bizarre reason. Right. We are good to go. So if you've got this open over another tab, head on over because the countdown will have likely already started, because I am, after all, there's a little bit of a delay. So if you're not familiar with it, I will take it quite slowly to start off with. So we've got Matches Oliveira up here. I just need to see whether he matches any of these criteria. Now, the biggest problem for me is that I'm very, very slow at the best of times. So my ability to scan through all 16 for the very first one is generally quite poor. But I'm definitely going to take greatest of all time, B named Gareth Barry for Aston Villa, followed up by George. Do they know something that we don't? Do they know that is quite something, hey, to get two B goats right off the top. So Philippe Caicedo, he did spend time at Man City, right? And he was rubbish. Simone Inzaghi. Oh, has he ever won the Golden Boot? Did he win the with Milan? No, that's Filippo, wasn't it? I can never be so sure. Diogo Costa, Spanish. Fabien Barthez for French or goalkeeper? What am I feeling here? I'm going to go goalkeeper. I feel like I'm reasonably okay at working out who French players are. Potentially Radu Dragusin. I don't think he matches any of those. Yuri Djorkaeff, we can certainly go with France there. Quite happy with that. Michael Ballack for German. I'm sure he's won the UCL, so I probably should have done that whilst I had a chance. I'll go Ito for Asian. Luca Digne. Now, Luca Digne deserves to win the Golden Boot, right? All the Villa players, best players ever. There's your suggestions for the letter D, right? Giovanni Elber at Lyon. Wait a second. Was it Elber at Lyon? Oh, we've done it now. We'll have to live with it one way or the other. Kevin Danzo, we can let run through. Seiko Fofana, I'm not confident on with any of those. A Chinese league is going to be an absolute pain. We've got Frank de Boer. Frank de Boer surely won the Champions League, or does that include the European Cup? Because normally they have a slash when it's like when it was the UEFA / Europa League, they had a slash on it. So I'm not sure. Bosnich went to Chelsea towards the end of his career and did some very, very silly things. Marouane Fellaini might have been managed by Conte at some point. Who knows? Phil Jones, has he ever won the Copa America? Don't think so. Lucas Hernandez. I'm not. Did he win the? I always get Lucas and Theo confused, so I'm never sure. Surely, no. Insigne had left Napoli by that point, hadn't he? So we'll let that one run through. Kaka now. Kaka was too late for Milan's last Champions League, right? So we can let that one run through. Daniel Agger. I'm sure he was that. Daniel Agger must have been part of that Liverpool team, right? So we can take that one. Demba Ba. Demba Ba go to China? I feel like Demba Ba might have gone to China. It's plausible, right? Maybe? Who knows? Nathan Ake. I'm going to skip on Ake. Was Ian Nacho... I'm skipping on that one as well. Cafu. Cafu was around playing long enough ago that he might well have been whilst Brazil was still quite decent. Alvaro Arbeloa, I'm going to skip. Another B-goat there for us. Asmir Begovic. It's another skip. Jules Koundé. We're skipping. And Zvonimir Boban. Oh my word, it's literally all the players we've mentioned so far. Andrei Kramaric. Kramaric would have played under any of those. I don't think so. Michy Batshuayi. Was Batshuayi at Chelsea at the same time as Conte? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Thomas Meunier, I'm going to skip. Schweinsteiger, I'm going to skip. Anton as well. Patrick Schick. Patrick Berger. Berger must have left before. Oh, was Berger at Villa at the same time as Milner? He might well have been, but I'm not going to risk it. Milner and Heskey. I think Heskey was there at the same time. I'm not 100% certain because Milner was there on loan with us and then we signed him permanently a few years later. I don't know if the crossover was there. Right, so we're looking for Milan and Arsenal or UCL Golden Boot. Could Aubameyang have won the Golden Boot one of those years? Did Aubameyang play for Milan? I've gone for it now. Henrik Larsson to win a Golden Boot? But what a player. Juninho Paulista. Amrabat won't have won the Golden Boot. Essien won't have won the Golden Boot. Casillas definitely won't have won the Golden Boot. Daniel Sturridge, we're passing. Terry. George Weah. In that Ballon d'Or year, right? That's what we're hoping for. Oh, Daniel Agger didn't win the Champions League with Liverpool. Oh, no. Nonsense. Welcome in Johnny Trotter, by the way. Welcome in Scribes as well. Would Kaka have not won it with Real? A very fair point. Oh, I think we've got Bebeto already. We do have Bebeto already, but another fabulous suggestion, Mike, there. But I messed it up again. You were also one out. Hung Do-min, so close. So close. After all those times of saying you would never get close. DM Basis, don't worry. I'm not going to look any further down the list. But that is some sensational work from Hung Do-min, Crudmo, and Ronnie. Currently all getting 5 points. Then there will be a 3 points for Grizzly P, Char Char, and FMGNG. Sensational work there. So, Crudmo, you didn't include Beckham, by the way, as he was only the 4th best midfielder in the Man United team, let alone the greatest anything of all time. I feel someone might be a little bit bitter there. So, Lance, I'm a massive fan. National team players work. So, Heskey and Milner will 100% be correct. Fair enough. I didn't think about that. I feel that someone will get bingo. I think we were at 28 players when I clicked check, so I think we're all done. But I am just going to wait a couple more moments before I confirm. Grizzly says that Beckham's tough to rate. He's a one-trick pony, and he did that one trick better than anyone in the world. He did a couple of tricks, to be fair. He passed it long. He took some nice free kicks, and he occasionally scored from halfway. That's 3 tricks, right? One of the best fullbacks of all times, Andreas Bremer. I can't believe Bremer hadn't been mentioned before. A fabulous shout. It's me, Ronnie. A one-trick pony like Yang Collar, indeed. Right, I'm calling it. I think we have the final results there. So let's go. Bonus points are, we've got Hongdo, Min, Crudmo, and Ronnie get themselves 5 points. And we've got Grizzly, Char Char, and FMG&G get themselves 5, 4, 3, 2 points each even. Sorry, I can't do my math right. There we go. So, Tony, TB, we are currently doing a little bit of alphabet goat. So each stream, we take a different letter of the alphabet and we're looking for the greatest player of all time with that name. So we're talking about the name that appears on the shirts, the first letter. So if they're Brazilian like Dani Alves, that will be a D. But if they're Barthez, they're Barthez. So we'll put that all together. Somewhere towards the end of the stream, I'll pick out my 5 favourite and we'll put it all to a vote and we will announce the greatest B player of all time. On Tuesday, we did the letter A, funnily enough, because that's how the alphabet works. And Aguero was the winner, somewhat controversially. Right, let's crack on with this. So let's have a look at the preview. We are predicted to come 5th. So Nykerping and Frem were relegated the season before. They are strong favourites to go up. But otherwise, I think it's kind of much for muchness. I should always do it from the media prediction one because it kind of tells us a little bit there. We've got Holbeck, we've got FA 2000. Let's all meet up in FA 2000. Na 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 na. I do apologise. And then there's a little bit of a drop off for us. We're in at 17-2, but we're a long way ahead of Naseby at 16-1, almost double that. So the board want us to finish top 4. Should be there or thereabouts, or at least we would be if we were playing this properly. For those that don't know, we are going to be doing a couple of things. Any new contracts or any new signings must be given the match highest earner clause, which means that eventually every player will be earning the same amount. And we can only set our tactics based on our badges. At the moment, we have no qualifications, so we need to ask our staff about basically everything, which is how we're set up tactically. We're running with a 4-2-3-1. This is based off our goalkeeping coach, Mr. Vilfort, Casper Vilfort, who has been a long-time player, just retired before this save started. He likes a wing play 4-2-3-1, dropping to a 4-4-1-1. Because I've seen his face a lot whilst doing research about the club. I'm like, yeah, we're sticking with what he's doing. It looks like we might be in a good spot. For Baggio, that's another tick there. Fabulous stuff. We've got him, the greatest wonder kid in FM circa 2010 and maybe ever, Mario Barua Balotelli. Balotelli as the greatest of all time. The most entertaining, for sure. I mean, there is no distinction of what means greatest, so it could quite well be. BBFM, welcome in as well. So Beckenbauer, we've got Beckenbauer down, another tick on there. So like Trevor Brooking. Trevor Brooking is a fine suggestion. We haven't had that one yet. My word, I'm actually already onto the second page of the notebook here. So we've got Gareth Bale, we've got Roberto. Fabulous suggestions there. I am looking for a chief scout. We're just going to see if any of these people are real people. That generally is the way that I like to. Jeff Jessen is a real person. And he's called Jeff. I'm called Jeff. That'll do. Hi. Oh, he wants a lot of money. Let's get him down to 160. 180. There we go. We will have a chief scout. We've got a spot for 2 regular scouts as well. We're not going to fill those positions. No need to waste that money on that. We just need 1 at this level, right? So that was way more pulp than you're comfortable with. I've told you about this. I'm sure I've mentioned it on stream before. But for the millennium, back for the millennium celebrations in 1999, crossing over to 2000, the family and I went to Sheffield Town Centre for their big festivities, and the headline act taking us into the new year, into the new millennium, were Pulp. Now, Pulp have the hit Disco 2000. So as you can imagine, as the year 2000 came round, what was the song that they played? Common People. Felt like such a missed opportunity. Very, very weird. Very weird. Right, so I know my starting lineup, I think. We're going with Kjola, we're going with Spasijevic, we're going with Hold, we're going to have Nor, and we're going to have Linger. On the right, Victor Farborg. Behind the striker, Victor Svensson. So, our best player, allegedly, he's paid more than everyone else at the moment because we haven't renewed any contract, is Jacob Johansson. Jacob Johansson, 26 years old, doesn't look that special to be honest, but he's highly regarded. He's on a big wage and will be let go at the end of the season, almost certainly. We've been playing him behind the striker. He got injured in one of the friendlies. Svensson came in and was far better. So we're going to swing... well, we're not even going to swing him up front. We're going to pop him on the bench right from the start. We're setting out our stall as it is. So the rest of these positions, I think we've got 9 subs, and that will be basically all of these guys. Let's head into our first game of the season. How will we get on? Could be interesting. Burkamp, a fabulous suggestion, Wolves. That has indeed been suggested. We got that down. Hungnamin's going for Tierno Barry. You're in for the GOAT race. Bradley Barkala as well. Mark Roberts, Roberto Baggio. I think Baggio's going to definitely make the final cut. A lot of Baggios coming in so far. Welcome in, Hossam. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have clicked you have faith. I meant to only go with what the assistant manager recommends. So that's a mistake on my behalf there. Sorry. Old habits. So let us know, our massive fan asked, does anyone know how to get affiliates from different continents? We're playing in Germany, but every time you ask the board, they only let me pick between Polish, French, Belgian, Dutch and Austrian clubs. I don't know if there's a way specifically. I think because you can ask for international, but I don't think you can be more specific. I guess it's just a case of growing your reputation to the extent that having affiliates in foreign countries makes a bit more sense, potentially. Right, let's minimize that there. Let's go back to the broadcast angle. So, okay, against, I can't remember what this club is called exactly. Veigar. They're predicted to finish, I think, around 6th, 7th, 8th. So it should be kind of a relatively even game, I think, as they have a chance early on. We do well to clear. Here we go. Cross comes back in once more. Hold gets it out. It was offside anyway. Early scare, perhaps. Oh, DM Base is suggesting Dino Baggio. We could go for the other Baggio. That's a bold take. A bold take indeed. Large Slime says that Misfits is their best song. A fair shout. Crudmo, it wasn't Def Leppard playing. It wasn't. A real shame. It was Pulp headlining and Human League as the undercard. At this level, we don't use Moneyball, we use Pennyball. At this level, Mike, we use whoever's willing to come. Let's be honest. So welcome in, Dilly. Lovely to see you, my dude. Absolutely love your content. Bless you, thank you. The graphics and things you do to present your player statistics and explain the equations, brilliant. Keep it up. Bless you. That's very, very kind. I hope you enjoy the stream, my dude. Crommo says Eddie Baggio? Is that? Have we had Battistuta yet? We do. We have indeed had Battistuta. I am a fond of that suggestion, that's for sure. So, Hung, my coach persona should be doing team talks. So this is the coach, essentially, by lack of having any, his persona is an idiot who needs everyone else to do everything for him. So that's why, basically, before each game, we're turning to our assistant manager going, what the fuck do we say? What the fuck do we say? And then we parrot it word for word. Welcome in, Cotty. Lovely to see you, my dude. Battistuta, another shout for Battistuta. I think he's going to make that final cut as well. I don't want to suggest that we are already down to a final 5, but there seems to be some strong contenders already. Plus 1 or 2, I might. Oh, Larson. Oh, Pierre Larson. He's still applauding himself. Sorry. I'm Look, it was a good shot. This is a perfectly outside of the boot from distance. He spends like the next 10 seconds applauding himself. Cheeky bugger. Cheeky bugger. Oh, welcome in, say it loudly. How you doing, my dude? Your watch offline, just coming to say hi and give a reaction. Very much appreciated. Lovely to see you. So Grizzly says, Batsu was the only player to have max shot power and accuracy in the early PES games. I mean, that's because he could absolutely thwack the ball. I mean, a little bit before Adriano, but I would love to see like a Batistuta Adriano shot power competition. Right, first half, pretty even. I say pretty even. They've had a couple of big chances. We've had some pretty rubbish chances. So we're going to say whatever the assistant manager tells us to. We can change basically lineups, do some shouts, or change mentality. We're just going to be a little bit cautious to start the half and maybe then ramp it up a little bit later on. Yes, Eddie Baggio, Roberto's actual brother. Fair enough. Jude Bellingham as a hot take. That is a bold shout, especially so early in his count. Scribes Beckenbauer has been mentioned. Gordon Banks hasn't, though. Fantastic shout. Fantastic shout, BBFM. Right, 10 minutes into the second half, and they've had a couple more things. So we're going to pop up to positive, and we're going to give... Oh, I pressed the wrong one. I'm not going to go into tactics now again. We'll just live with the mistake. After all, we've said we're an idiot, so it's fine. Sherbs calls Bellingham a cold, terrible take. Those who don't know anything should be the loudest. They often are, isn't it? Anyone mentioned John Barnes? Asked Kylo. They haven't. Another fabulous suggestion. And we're 1-0 down. Gustav Dahl. Oh, that's not how we wanted to start the season. Here's Schmidt. Gets past his man all too easily. Hold is late coming out. There's the cutback. Dahl is there. Nothing really Chang Anderson could do. It's 1-0. Looking like we might be staring at a defeat to begin the season. So Del Suze is looking tired. He's probably going to be the first. We'll bring Johansson on over there. Or are we going? We're going to play Johansson behind the striker. They're all struggling. Larsson's struggling too. So we'll bring on Herfel. And we'll have to wait until a shout for us to be able to do anything, really. That's going to be the real difficulty, is not being able to tweak the tactics, that's for sure. Gareth Barry, DM Basis has been mentioned and is a guaranteed winner. Harvey Barnes. Hung them in is going for the wildest takes possible. Here's Del Suze. Cuts it to Linger. Players I was about to substitute off. Oh, Del Suze. Del Suze, have you kept yourself on there? You might well have done, you know. Nope, the change has gone through. Linger, though, arriving late, nicely sweeps it past. That's the equaliser. Beautiful stuff. And then whatever that was. Whatever just happened there. Yeah, the tactic went through. Oh well. Michael Ballack, we've had Michael Ballack, a great shout. Cotti comes in with Ballack as well. Franco Baresi is on our list as well, Mark. Definitely a fantastic shout. Few defenders as good as him. But it's me, Ronnie, has come up with a suggestion of a defender almost as good, potentially. And that is Titus Bramble. We've got Benzema. Thomas Bertel's a great shout. Fabulous suggestions coming in. Lord Bentner not in the GOAT race is a mistake. I've put him down. The Bohemian Buffoon is a way you could explain the manager. I love it. Offhand, I suggested that he was the great grandson of the inventor of custard creams. So rather than calling him a champagne socialist, I was going to suggest that he might be a biscuit Bolshevik. But I like the Bohemian Buffoon. So, Mads, do I do any spreadsheet work on stream? No, because it's very boring. Very, very boring. I mean, and that's wild coming from me because I'm a very boring person at the best of times. Gustav Dahl makes it 2-1. We didn't keep it level for long. So Grizzly reckons that Adriano has a slight edge on power, but Batty's more accurate. That's probably fair. And Batty obviously has the longevity to go with it as well. Here's Dahl, edge of the area, just strokes it into the corner. Lovely, lovely finish there. Right, shouts are back available. Let's fire these guys up. We have subbed off the man that created our goal. Can we get back into it? It's going to drop back down to balanced. So when we were balanced, it was like 5-5 shots. So maybe that was actually a little bit better for us. Last change is, well, we've still got 2 more stops. So let's bring on well, Arga's not young actually. He's like 25, and let's replace Nor with Porsgrunn. Porsgrunn's going to be a little bit fresher. We'll get him to run forwards a bit. That's the thinking, at least. Almost rolling as a suggestion. Welcome in, by the way, Bjorkman. Philip even, I'm guessing. Mike Sherp's got to go no wise. Thank you very much for coming by, my dude. We've got a suggestion for Ben Jarni, the greatest Zimbabwean there's ever been, for sure. Let us have a massive fan going with Bernard, the former Everton winger. Indeed, absolutely fantastic at Shakhtar. And obviously, awful news about Marcelo Lucescu the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before? Has passed away. Absolute legend. Was at Shakhtar for such a long time as well. Right, Raphael Hay from distance, looking for something late on. It's not there. It's not there. Let's demand more into the last few minutes. See if we can get something out of it. DM basis going for David Batty. David Batty is a take, that's for sure. So Mike, Dennis Bergkamp, Sergio Busquets, we've got them on the list. Fabulous suggestions. Hung them in, we've got George Best on the list as well. And Emilio Butragueno. There's a shout. Butragueno, adding him onto the list as well. And BBFM as well with Butragueno. Wilton Boy, centre-back shout. Lucas Radebe, South African legend. Nelson Mandela, once calling him his sporting hero. Lucas Radebe is a fantastic player for sure. Doesn't begin with a B, so won't be on our goats for this. But in terms of very good defenders, absolutely. Mr. Grizzly, he's not going to win any debate, but you really like the way Berbatov plays. Berbatov, such a languid style. It's difficult to really explain him, isn't it? But it just makes everything look so effortless, which can be a problem when you're like wanting someone to put effort in. Mike's going for Nicky Butt. There's a shout. There's an interesting shout. I think Crodmo might agree with you. Crodmo reckons there were 4 better midfielders in that Man United team than David Beckham. And so that means that Nicky Butt must be, and we yes, come in, 95th minute, Jacob Johansson. I should have never doubted you. You should have started all along. Victor Farborg, our young winger down the right, plays it in. That looks well offside from Arga. Ochal, though, takes the time, sets up Johansson. It's an easy tap in from 4 yards out, right at the depth. Right at the depth. Oh, I feel like we've robbed that one. We've robbed that one for sure. I mean, kind of an even game away from home. And, here we go, assistant manager. What would you say? I don't know what I just saw from this team. And they've reacted okay, so that's all right. So, first game, we didn't succumb to defeat. That's probably a good sign. After Beckham, Cantona and Cristiano Ronaldo were both also much better than him. Oh, you see, Eric Cantona, a very good player. A joy to watch. But he's a Neil Young player, right? It's better to burn out than to fade away. In terms of longevity, just I feel like he was sporadic moments in what felt like a relatively short time playing at that level. Although that's probably a little bit controversial, so I do apologise. Got to throw a hammer, but I mean, he's a player. He is definitely one of the players of all time. Does Kevin De Bruyne count? So, Hussam, we are saying as their name appears on their shirt. So De Bruyne will be a D, but that's one to say for a couple of streams' time. Is Twitch spongy? Is it still spongy for you guys? It's okay for me at the moment. So if let me know if it's still going a little bit funky. I say we did have a couple of moments where it dropped frames that I did mention, but I'm not sure. Lou saying it's the second blip you've had. Intermittent sponginess. Okay, let's have a look here, see if there's something I can do on my end. So upload speed seems to be all good. We're around 8 kilobytes there. Let me just check a couple of other bits. Yeah, I think that's fine. I have a feeling it might be on Twitch's end. I'm just going to, so I have the stream up to watch as well to see. So I'm just going to do some random movements so that I can see myself moving. Yeah, there we go. That seems to be all right. TM Basis now wants some cake after talking about Sponge. That's fair. I think it's angry you're giving any support to Beckham. That's a reasonable conclusion as well. Yeah, De Bruyne has D on it, so he can be in 2 streams with the Ds. He can be the double D. All right, so our first goal scorer, Linger, is going to be missing for the next couple of games. We've got a cup game against the division above us, Isher IF, and then we've got a home game against Horsham Usserod. Fabulous names, and I do apologise to any Danes that are watching. I will absolutely butcher every single thing I say. I'm sorry. Nobody mentioned Gianluigi Buffon. We do have Buffon mentioned. We've got him in the list. And RJ's in. Welcome in, sir. How you doing, sir? Lovely to see you. So, the gaming in the cup. It's early on in the season. There's no reason to rotate other than really for fitness. I do want to check whether we've got anything in terms of prize money. So the first round, there doesn't seem to be any prize money. BBFM, thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciated, my dude. As we go through second round, third round, fourth round, we get money if we win in the fourth round. I mean, it's a lot of effort to get 1,000. Oh, that's in pounds still. See, it's still in Durham settings. Let's turn that to euros. Well, it would be about 2,000 euros. We'd need to win 4 games to get 2,000 euros, which seems, you know, that's not enough to me feel like we need to take this competition as a priority. Buffon, too fascist for this left lobby. I mean, it's going to be held against him. It has to be said, but a quality player. So RJ, you're hot. It's 24 degrees working outside. That is far too much. That said, today's 17 degrees apparently outside, not indoors. But I'm much warmer today than I was yesterday when it was like 20. Basil Bowley, another double B. Basil Bowley. There's a player I haven't thought about for years. Drogba will be a D indeed. Greatest B goalkeeper Fabian Barthez. We've got him on the list here. So we are doing the letter B indeed. Your personal one that will never. Walter Berseggio. Walter Berseggio, my word, Anderlecht legend. Now, I can never remember if it was Walter Berseggio or Lorenz. No, I think it's Berseggio was a 20 passing player in Champs, I think. That's like, oh, what a shout that would be. Right, so we've got an ad coming up. So I'm going to, BBFM, thank you for the subscription as well. Bless you, with your Prime. You only get one of those, so I really appreciate you've used it here. Yeah, we're going to pop into a little break. And then when we come back, we're going to be heading into the Danish Cup. So I will see you guys in about 3 minutes. A professional streamer. Thank you very much, guys. Oh, I mean, to be fair, this is what I was doing regularly when I was streaming regularly. So it's good to know I'm back in the swing of things. Thank you very much, guys. Right, so I was thinking, let's head straight into the vote. We've had an obscene amount of suggestions. I've literally got like 2 full pages of notepad here. Now, YouTube only allows me to put 4 options in a poll. So we are going to go with the following. Who is your greatest player whose name begins with a B, surname or shirt name begins with a B? Is it Roberto Baggio, Gabriel Batistuta, Franco Baresi, or Franz Beckenbauer? So we'll run that poll whilst we're playing through the next game. I think it will run for 10 minutes over on Twitch. It's going to run until I stop it over on YouTube. So get your votes in. Let me know who you think. So that should be popping up somewhere in that chat window for you guys now. Right. So I've moved down to the injured Linga. Horsgren is in. We've brought Johansson back in as well. We're going to drop Larson to the bench because he had Mayer. We're going to bring in Killowick at centre half as well. So some changes for the game, but nothing major. And let's see how we get on, shall we? Now, whilst I was away, so welcome in, Kwan, by the way. I'm very sorry that I timed that really, really badly for you. RJ with plenty of Belgium suggestions in there. I mean, well, DM Basis came in with Thomas Buffel, to be fair. But Benteke and Batshuayi are definitely players. I will give you credit for that much at least. Raymond Brain. I am not familiar with Raymond Brain, but that's a phenomenal name. Barry Bannon. Barry Bannon did get a mention, I was pleased to say. And as did Bosman. And if we had a fifth option to go on here, I would have had Bosman because of the impact he's had on the wider game, rather than maybe his footballing ability. Right, an early corner. They're lining up from the edge of the area. It's a good save from Chang Anderson. Oh, thank God for that. So another winning 11 legend, Babangida was a suggestion. Questions to whether you're going for Tijani or Haruna. Danny Boffin, we're going there. Welcome in, by the way, Apoyo. Lovely to see you, my dude. And Medical Car and Cultured Left Foot. That's how I can find out who's here. I just need to be muted. Welcome in, Slay, as well. And we're 1-0 down. There we go, from the second corner. And I wasn't paying attention, I was reading chat. So the wonderfully named F Monk swings it in. We get it clear. Oh, we need a set piece coach because I don't like how these set pieces are set up. But it was absolutely glorious there. Left foot just shakes it right into the top corner. What is the goal of the save? So Slater, we are basically every player, from now on, any player that we renew their contract or sign will have the match highest earner clause added. So the idea is that every single player will be paid equally. Unfortunately, we're also taking it kind of realistic with our coaching qualifications. We've started with absolutely zero. And that means that we have no idea how to coach. So all our tactical input is going to be based on what our coaches or assistant managers say. We can use their favoured tactical approach. We use their favoured formations. We can't make any changes at all. Well, we can. We can change mentality and we can shout. And that's basically it until we get qualifications. So once we get our national license, we can pick any style and formation we want. Once we get the second stage, we can add a backup tactic. Third stage, have a third tactic. Once we reach continental, we can use a clean slate. And there we go. Stojanovic pulls us level. Those cutbacks seem to be our bread and butter at the moment. Del Sue's again doing, I don't know what he was doing there. Running very angular. Noah gets forward. Holds it up a bit. Cuts it back. Stojanovic. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Welcome in 2991 Matt as well. How you doing, sir? If Beckenbauer doesn't win this, you'll lose your faith in humanity. I mean, you would put him as a strong contender. He's got 8 votes over on Twitch. Currently leading. Who's got 5? We've got Gabriel Batistuta with 5. I'm glad to see that Batistuta is getting well Why can't I see the poll? I need to click it there. And Beckenbauer is winning over on YouTube as well. It does look very much in Beckenbauer's favour right now. Logan Bailey. I mean, how could we have forgotten Logan Bailey? So we can skip C and go straight to D because C is Cruyff. There isn't even debate to have. I mean, you say that, Scribes, but I would suggest that John Carew, he's bigger than me or you. So John Carew's surely going to run him close, right? Welcome in, Rich Son. How you doing, sir? Joe Bolton, the best fullback ever. Unfortunately, too late with a suggestion. Don't know if he would have made the top 4. You should have made your lunch in that ad break, shouldn't I? Well, there'll be another one in about 50 minutes or so. You can hold on. Oh, I'm holding on till 1 for lunch. Okay, that's not been too bad. Like, after they scored, we've kind of had things in our favour. The coach wants us to turn to dig in. Yeah, I'll just run with that. I don't think we need to make any changes at the moment. So Costa Curta as a suggestion. That's a fair shout as well. Tony Cottee, Carlton Cole. Fine suggestions. Cultured left foot, by the way, you notice that you got a new set piece coach and you have delegated set pieces. They won't change anything at all. It'll just stay as they are. Oh, really? Does it, if you go back through the wizard, because I think there is the option to restart it. Do you know if the staff preferences change as a result? So that might be my way around it. Because that defending with everyone in the box seemed problematic, at least for those 2 highlights. And as you know, the best thing to do is to take just 2 highlights in a 1-minute spell and knee jerk off the back of that. Michael Ball, Kevin Ball, all the Balls, Zoe Ball. I think Zoe Ball should have won, to be fair. R is going to be a bloodbath. Just one of the Brazilians, any of them, is going to be quite crazy. Right, here comes Ishoy. Kiai just running through completely unopposed. Thankfully, quite easy for Chang Anderson to gather. Does well. Right, the highlight isn't over though. Here's Oliver Howald. Lays it in, and oh, okay, now the highlight's over. Does it look like something? Actually, it's looking pretty decent. Right, let's look to make some changes. We're going to bring Forsgren off for Winther. We're going to give Johansson and Del Suze a little bit of respite. Here's Monk with the corner. Monk. Musa sends it in. Second phase of a corner is going to be our undoing. No, good block. Linda, though, loses out to Noah. Can we counter-attack? Noah, just keep on going, lad. Keep on going. He looks like he's tiring, man. Oh, he was running through mud. Bless him. Bless him. Oh, that is. He tried, right? That's all that matters, is he tried. Right, I think we can bring on Svensson for him, so Noah can come off. Right, let's switch to positive for the last few minutes. See if we can steal a late winner. We've got a highlight starting in their half. It's behind Tonneson. Look at his bum. What we need to see before a free kick from deep that he's time wasting on. Here we go, Stojanovic. Here's Hay on the left. Can he beat his man? He can indeed. He's got past Monk. Hay finds Stojanovic. Stojanovic off the post. Oh, was that the chance? There's still 5 minutes to go though. Maybe we can do something. Barella from distance. Just over. A Jamie Carragher has C on lockdown. That's a bold take. And we missed out on Gary Bennett. We missed out on Lonzo Ball. He's on the suggestion along with Barry Bonds. Zoe Ball is your favourite, but in a different way. The best ball without any doubt whatsoever. Imagine being able to change anything on set pieces. Console FM is the dream. Is it that bad, Slazer? Oh dear. That was the slowest counter-attack you've ever seen. He seemed so reluctant, didn't he? Bless him. At the end of this, I think we're going to bring off Barborg on the right-hand side. So I think that'll be Arga coming on. Like Musa cuts inside. Musa takes... I'm happy to see these shots from distance. So Aya Ochal on. Got 1 minute left. I didn't check to see whether this goes to a replay or whether we go into extra time. So StatCat site has every Sunderland player ever sorted by alphabet. I don't even have to rely on memory now. So you'll have all the... See, there we go! Yet again! Another injury time goal, and this time that might have sold the win. Lucas Killerich. Paul takes the corner, in swinger at the near post. He peels off his man. Lovely does Killerich there. Powerful header. Tonneson can't get close. Down to cautious. Down to cautious. Focus. Right at the death. And we hold... Oh, no, I thought that was full time. No, we've got the last... Surely you're just... This is just a highlight to show us winning the game, right? Come on, ref. Look, we're not even trying. My God, that is some awful time wasting. Beautifully done. Or... Hey. Hey now. Hey now. There's the answer. 3-1. 2 goals in injury time. There I was thinking we were just about to see the game out. And Hereford, with his weaker foot, sends it into the far post. The goalkeeper just does nothing. And Raphael Hay rises high. 3-1. We're through to the next round. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your head on. Go play. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. We've knocked out a higher division team, so that's always a good sign. Look at his bum as an alternative Barry Davis. I mean, that's what all commentators say, right? A Hossam Cafu would be a suggestion indeed, a fine suggestion. So let's end the poll over on YouTube. And it does look indeed like Beckenbauer is comfortable winner with 47% of the votes over on YouTube, with 53% of the votes over on Twitch. It would be impossible for anyone to come ahead of him. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Franz Beckenbauer is our greatest of all time, beginning with the letter B. So what about Johnny Bull? We could have Johnny Bull. Johnny Bull might be there. We just got FM blue balled. We managed to, we managed to see it through though. What about that? Nade says, with the price of consoles, it'll not be worth it to make console entries anymore. Might as well buy a PC. Well, isn't that kind of realistically what consoles are now? Is they're gaming PCs. It's hardware specifically built with gaming in mind, rather than running for dual purposes. That to have a scientist is certainly a claim. So all you can change on console FM for set pieces is if you want short corners. Really now? Oh, that is shocking. That is shocking. I suppose it is meant to be a slightly lighter version. So I guess that's the idea, but that is a shame. That is a shame. Now, you guys mentioned that there was some stuttering earlier, and I think I've worked out why. Yeah, it's the lag is me. That is me. So when I stream, I need to set the affinity to turn off some of the CPU cores being used on FM. So that allows that resource to be used for the streaming software and everything else that's running on my computer. And I forgot to do that. So I've just done that now. I noticed the lag came there, realised what it was. Pro streamer, right? Pro streamer. And I wanted to change the set piece coach. Now I just need to find a set piece coach that will send it into, so it's what that was an in swinger to the near post. I just need to find someone who doesn't want to defend with everyone back. Right, so we should be in a good spot. Our next game against Horsham Usurod. So we will have a little check here. Horsham Usurod are a newly promoted side, expected to finish 11th. We are at home. We should be favourites to win this one, right? Hey now, don't dream it's over. There's a tune. What a tune. It was a Nana level decisive. It really was, wasn't it? Shocking goalkeeper. So consoles are terrible. I wouldn't suggest someone to get one for gaming anymore. If you wanted to play games, I would just suggest a PC. Yeah, you used to be able to change it on FM24, but they've removed it. That is a surprise. All the people you know who play FM26 on console use mouse and keyboard. That kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, I'll be honest. If I had a modern console, I mean, I had the PS4, but once it started getting up like around 600 quid for a new console, I can't be asked for that anymore. But I'd use mouse and keyboard on console quite happily. So for this game, Linger's still a little bit away. Hayes going to get the start on the right. I feel like I feel like Del Suze has been involved in highlights, which is good enough. Now, Hereford did get the assist, but I am going to bring Larson back into... No, I'm not. Let's put Larson in midfield, because from what I remember, he likes to get forward whenever possible. So I think that should work well with the box-to-box midfielder role. We saw Noah trying to run in the last game. Maybe he's not that suited. Acceleration. I mean, acceleration 9, pace 10 isn't exactly quick, but at this level, I would have gone off that highlight. I would have thought he had like pace of like 4, bless him. Right, into the next game. Can we get our first league win? Right, Cromo's off. He needs a sandwich. RJ, are we going to win the fucking league? I don't think so. I don't think so. Even if you had a PS5, you'd still be on PC all the time. Fair. So price increase just been announced for PS5s too. That's... You don't increase the prices after something's been out for a number of years. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. So you've got your Xbox Series X, but you barely use it anymore. I mean, that has to be said. Like even with the PS4, I think I used it to play PES, and pretty much otherwise it'd be PC. But that's because I don't like playing games where I've got to react. Give me turn-based things, please. Scribes reckons that gaming consoles peaked at the PS2. I think there was the PS3 had a pretty fine run, I would have said. So Slater, yeah, you mean FM26 is just not optimized for console. FM never was, but 22 to 24 everything was perfect. But with the overhaul for FM26, it's worse. RAM's got to increase price, yeah. And I thought that RAM prices were coming back down after OpenAI didn't fulfill their side of the agreement or something. Right, here's Hay. No one's closing down. Just keep on going. Keep on going. Sends the cross in. There's Del Suze, knocks it on. Stojanovic. Oh! Did he just miss the ball entirely? Oh, big chance there. Big chance. Let's encourage these guys. We're going to see it. So we've encouraged immediately a highlight for the others. Oh, here's the shot from the edge. Oh, off the bar. Oh, danger's not done yet. Crossed in. Well done from Hereford. Stojanovic comes away. Look, we've got players over. How about? Yeah, 1k is crazy. That is literally PC money. So Mike says some of these player traits are OP. You had 3 ball playing centre backs with brings ball out of defence and likes to switch ball to wide areas. 3 Beckenbauers out there. I mean, I do like a centre back with brings ball out of defence. Not so, I don't like the long range passes though. Give me short, quick interchanges. That's where it's at for me. You know, they need to be able to, if they see an opportunity, but not do it too often. Right, can we get something just before the break here? Here's Hay, trying to create some space. Didn't have any space really, so just takes a swing at it, goes over. So, Probably next year, going down, I'm not sure, but stabilise. I'm sure there'll be enough to happen between now and then for the prices to mysteriously have to stay back up, right? We've been decent. I mean, it's above 0.1 XG per chance, but a lot of that's going to be on the big Stojanovic chance that he missed. So let's push up to positive in the second half. We'll give it 5-10 minutes. We'll shout at them a little bit, maybe make some changes. So D-Law, welcome in. Dear M, any chance of seeing the fabulous attributeless skin appearing in FM26? No. Unfortunately, as mentioned a couple of years ago, I am now retired from skinning. For many of the reasons that I foresaw here, that I wouldn't expect it to be supported, and that I don't necessarily have the capacity really to learn a whole new system, sadly. The Slate says, for real, that's my goal. You just never had the money laying about for PC with uni. That's the thing, is consoles are meant to be the convenient alternative, right? So with consoles, also just the games feel so much more limited now than it used to be. Oh, hey, Del Suze on his weaker foot. There we go. That's the response we needed. Right, what, 1.5 minutes into the second half. It's from another set piece, a throw in. It's Hairfault just swinging it in once again. Noah knocks it down. Cheeky little flick from Johansson. Pretty much straight at the goalkeeper. It's going the wrong way. Could only get a soft hand to it. Gentle hands when he needed stiff hands. Not a sentence anyone's ever said. But I feel like there's been far fewer console exclusives, or at least console exclusives that have had the hype as previous years. GP leaving Red Bull for McLaren is a surprise move. It's both a surprise move, but also 2028 feels like such a weird thing to announce. Like, I'm going to take a job in 2 years. It's a weird thing to say. Right, Stojanovic, because of that miss, is coming off. We're going to bring on Barella. He had a half chance in the last game from deep. We'll put Johansson up front. And we'll run with that. And we're going to command more. I want to see a second goal if we possibly can. RJ, you're more of an indie game type of guy, so PC is master. That's fair. Welcome in, nickname 123321. I'm very well. How are you, sir? How's your week been so far? RJ, if you're into car sims or sports, maybe it's fine on consoles. We make it 2-0. That's what we wanted. Jakob Johansson, mere seconds after putting him up front. That's that man, Del Suze again. Del Suze, the slowest winger. I think he's got like 9 for acceleration and pace. But he seems to be doing some good stuff for us here. I mean, he's got acres of space to pick out the pass, to be fair. And Johansson just sweeps it past an outstretched Stender up to make it 2-0. Looks like our first league win of the season. Yeah, but you'd expect that means that Max is on the way out. But does that mean at the end of this season? Does that mean at the end of the 2027 season? And, you know, is he going to Merck? Could that be, sorry, to McLaren? Could that be the shock that comes in line with it? All right. Just hope nothing stupid here. I don't want a nervy end to this game. I would like us to get 3. Here's Larson. Larson from distance. Larson straight at Stenderup. Right. Time for changes. Here, Fault is coming off. We've got another little right back there. Del Suze will come off because he's tired, and we're going to bring on Farborg for that one, so we can swing him out onto the right. I think we dropped down to balance for the last 10 minutes, right? You can't train tries killables often on a defender, so I converted a tall DLP who had all the long passing traits to a CB Glorious. Fine workaround, Mike. That's the trick, is because traits are linked to positions, is to you know, if you want to get on a CB, just train him as a midfielder for a while, or the other way around. Right, let's bring Larson off, and let's bring Hold off. We're going to pop Noah out at left back, just because we've got a little bit of tiredness showing up at the back there. I think Verstappen's contract is out that season, exactly. That's why it looks like it's probably a confirmation that Verstappen's going. GTA 6 will be console only on release. Is it going to be like Red Dead? So it'll be like a year's exclusivity. Right, 2-0. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. We've got our first win in the league, that is. So, lads, have our mercy. I don't think that the move has been announced officially yet, unless you missed it. The GP. I have just seen the mocked up graphics. So yeah, fair point. Welcome in, Yon, sir. How you doing, my dude? Gracing us on your lunch break. Bless you. Alfie says, you think Max will probably just retire come the end of his contract and do GT3? I mean, I think I can certainly see him exploring various different other disciplines. Obviously, he's very heavily involved in the esports scene, as well as doing the interest in endurance racing, and so I imagine there's a lot on the table for him potentially. Nickname, so you're doing well, awesome. Yes, it's nice. It's nice to stream again. Corativa's in as well. Welcome in. You have to go catch the bus to watch class. I don't really like. I mean, I'd love to say just skip class, but that would be very, very irresponsible. Gaming Fishy, RB will put him on gardening leave next season. He won't be allowed to go straight to McLaren with all their secrets. I mean, that's a fair point. Do you reckon that Max will leave this season? Medical card suggesting he'll go to the WEC. I think that seems equally plausible too. So what Cocky Smelters in, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? Right, we had a round of Only Connect redeemed by RJ a little bit earlier, so let's get that underway. Let's pop on over. I need to just grab a couple of little bits here. Move this all the way up. So, if you guys haven't played Only Connect before, I will explain how it works. In a few moments, you're going to see 4 players, or pictures of 4 players, revealed one after the another. They share some kind of common connection. That might be that they've share a teammate, or they've played under the same youth academy, or it might be that their names all contain a cheese, like James Brie, for example. Your job is to try and work out the connection. So you get 5 points if you work out the connection from the first clue, 4 from the second, 3 from the third, 2 from the final clue. You also get a point for correctly guessing the player. Now, you need to spell players' names correctly. But if they've got like an accent in their name or a diphthong, you don't need to include it. You can include it, it will pick it up. If you type in their full name, it will pick it up. But you generally just need their surname. Unless there's, in this one, you just need their surname. So in a moment, I will reveal the first clue. And then it's just a case of guessing. Nice and simple. So first up, who is this chap? Can we, right off the top, recognise this handsome Liverpool man? Scribe says he wants to take an 18-month to play baseball. That would be a thing for sure. So nickname, just like Ajax started falling apart after the Overman text, Rabi started falling apart after the Christian Horner text. That's a fair point. And there we go, we've got it. Nuri Sahin. Oh, I do apologise. I am a rookie. So I'm going to write it in now, and then I'm going to give a bonus to Ronald McGuffin. Professional streamer here, right? That's the thing. So we've got a couple of guesses for connections already. Could it be Gundogan teammates? A fine guess. It's not Gundogan teammates. Have they all played for the most evil team in the world? It depends who you consider to be the most evil team. I know who you consider to be the most evil team, but I might not share that opinion. All played with Hummels. A fine guess. It's not that either. Represented countries they weren't born in. They all play for countries they weren't born in, from Grizzly and DM bases. Almost one on top of another. It is not that. It's played under Klopp. It's not played under Klopp. However, we do have a correct answer, which means that I am skipping through all of these because Ronald McGuffin has already got it as played for Real Madrid. Nuri Sahin and his like 4 games or whatever it was for Real Madrid was enough of a clue for Ronald McGuffin to come in straight off the top there and earn himself an extra 5 points. Sensational work. Sensational. How did you get that, sire? That is quite a feat. Especially as I was thinking that Fabinho would send you more down that Liverpool route, and we never quite got there. We had all born in countries that no longer exist, which was a fabulous guess as well. Ladislav Massi did pick up on it being Fabinho, but that was unfortunately a little bit too late there. These have got a lot easier. Where was the anagrams of Belgian folk singers? We're easing you into it. See, it was something ridiculously small Fabinho was one game. Cambiasso was like a season. Eto'o was a season. I think Sahin was single figures. But I might be wrong on that one. I also considered putting Essien in there. Maybe I should have done. I won't be giving you the points for the names that are on screen. I will be scrubbing those off because I'm a miserable bastard like that. Fabulous work. I've got a little thing here. Oh, I can minimize that, and so I'm now trying to hop back to those bits here. Beautiful stuff. So many insane players. The Galacticos era was quite crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. So before we did that, we had Kokus Mausch had a bold prediction that he will join his namesake Eric Verstappen playing for Aschaffenburger in the 5th tier of Germany. That is a bold suggestion. Mike suggests that the new logo for Brønshøj should be a real mean-looking picture of Charles Brunschen. We could do that. In fact, okay, so as part of this series, again, I know that many of you already know this, but those that weren't here on Tuesday, the plan is that this is going to be a YouTube series, and we're going to treat it like a mockumentary. So we'll cover like half a season in every episode. It'll be a little bit humorous, but it'll also be a little bit informative, like the Pauk Zaragoza series that I did before. And that does mean that there will be some silly narrative threads running through. We've got a game against GVI in the next round of the Cup. GVI are a non-league team, so we will be away from home. That feels like a game that should be quite winnable, right? So yeah, we'll be turning this into a YouTube thing. And one of the things I plan on is a rebrand. I've got this awful rebranded logo that I've made that I'm very happy with. But I am thinking of, in fact, offering it out to you guys and suggesting that if someone wants to design, like if people want to design a really bad logo, and then I will use the worst designed logo that, you know, actually it doesn't need to be family friendly. When have I ever been family friendly? We might do that if that's something that people are interested in. I can detach myself from my attachment to the awful logo that I've designed. Crudmo suggesting that Samuel Eto'o is the poor man Samuel Beto. I see what you're doing there. Dear Miria apparently was not there when he was there. There we go. It's Adam. Oh, thank you very much. Let me do the honors as well. If you guys, I know it's been one hell of a roller coaster year for you, sir. So if you can show some love towards it, Adam, please do. So does this series go to 11? Exactly that. D-Law asks, am I playing FPL this season? I am. We've even got a Musterman League where the glorious, I mean, I don't think he's in today, but the glorious Out Farby is absolutely running away with it. Up until the last few weeks, it's got really tight. There's a two-way battle going on at the top of our league. I am currently in third, just hoping that somewhere along the lines that I get a crazy week where I mistakenly captain Van Hecker and he scores a hat-trick or something hideously unexpected. So that's the hope, the plan. In fact, I mean, if you want to pop on over, if you're not in the Discord already, pop on over to the Discord and you can, I mean, it's late to join the league, but does it bring your points along? I don't really know. Yeah, the best ugly logo. would be sensational. I think that's kind of how Hill's got their logo, isn't it? Just what I mean, that is the best logo of all time, right? Twitch meltdown, is it still hiccuping when we click continue even with the things? Let me just make sure that I can do it there. I might need to turn off another CPU core. Deadline tomorrow, remember. Thank you, DM Basis. Yes, there was games on. There's a game on Friday night, so we need to get our deadlines in before that happens. Right, Holbeck are one of the teams that I think were another mid-tabley one. No, they're one of the teams that are meant to be better than us. So this could be quite a tough game away from home. I think, though, we go with the team that got us this far. We are going to bring Linger back into the squad. And possibly Horsgren is the one who's going to miss out. Yeah, let's run with that and see how we do. Did Cromwell get his sandwich? He did. Beautiful stuff. You made a Dagobah. What's a Dagobah? What's in a Dagobah? That sounds funky. Quadmo knows what a Dagobah is, but with Dutch and Italian cheese. Which are your cheese choices? Right. We're saying if you carry on your last performance, they've responded well, so we should be happy with that. Let's see how we get on. Lestry asks, do I have two angry Scotsmen to play the equivalent of Malcolm Tuckett and Jamie McDonald? I could probably, no, I can't. I was going to say I could probably put on an accent. I can't do accents for Toffee. There will definitely be some character work involved for sure. And some, we need to build up the family here. I've been, well, that's a good start, eh? That's a good start. How rotten. Here we are from the corner. We had it clear. There's no one on the edge of the box, so we're still dangerous from the second phase. We do close out. But then Texan has time to take the ball, turn, and just nestle it into the far corner. Beautiful, beautiful placement on the finish. Yeah, I think this is going to be a problem for us. We'll have to just get into the habit of trying to outscore teams. So do we push up the mentality now? No, we demand more. We'll do a little bit of shouting before we make any changes there. Yeah, I've been trying to find videos of the chairman to see if I can gently spoof the real chairman of the club potentially. So D-Law, you have all the cards left and will run wild card, bench boost, free hit and triple captain ending it. That's a bold move. I think I've used my free hit. I've used my wild card now. The triple captain I'm saving for the week that Man City and Arsenal have their double game week. That's my big hope. No idea when I'll use the bench boost. Right. Holbeck once more, building up from the back here. Got Garley. Garley's a good name. Here's Tumtuk. Tumtuk tries to get the cross in. Hull does well the first time, but the cross comes in a second time. Vestergaard heads over. Right, fire up. Switch to positive. Apparently we've had 6 shots, but they're not unfortunately highlight worthy. But this one could be maybe. Right, Johansson. Neuer to Larson. Here's out. Del Suze. Just take your time, lad. Just take your time. Okay, and then beat your man and feed Larson. And here we go. Johansson. Del Suze knows. I've been very unfair to Del Suze. I keep on criticising him, and he keeps on starting attacks for us. Sure, he didn't get the assist here, but it's a lovely, held it up well. Lovely ball through for Larson. Then suddenly we started to have the space. Hold with the low cross. Johansson's shot. It takes a deflection, which steers it past Olsen, and it's an equaliser. Beautiful stuff. So Cromwell, Edam and Mozzarella. A Dagobert is a ham and cheese sandwich, essentially. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Ham, cheese, veggies you want, and mayo. Nobody wants mayo. Nobody wants mayo. DM Basis went for chicken, salad, and candied jalapeno sauce wraps. Oof. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. Yeah, I do like the sound of that. Dagoberto was an Atletico Paranense and Sao Paulo forward. I don't think you want to put him in a sandwich, though. Marv is a sauce man. That is very true indeed. Tum Tuck sounds like someone from Cats. Rum Tugger and Tum Tuck. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many musical fans we have in the chat, but is Cats the worst musical that has ever existed? Like, of the big musicals, anyway. I genuinely think it's pish. Right, we're bringing Linger on for here, fault, so we're going to swing Larson back out to right back. And then let's head into that second half. See if we can stage another comeback, potentially. Is Del Suze related to Doku? Del Suze is quite a good dribbler, to be fair to him. I mean, if we look at that, 14 dribbling at this level is quite good. Pace of 7, probably not quite Jeremy Doku. So D-Law's reaching out to Zealand as well if he can use his connections to continue the excellent skin work of yours. Okay, I mean, but fair dues. I mean, he didn't do the skin work for his skin. That was the wonderful FM Enhanced. I think FM Enhanced has disappeared in recent years, so might be a little bit tricky. But there is a semi-attributeless skin up on the SI forums at the moment. If you go over to the skin sub forum, there is one that replaces attributes with square blocks, which is worth checking out. Did you hear Edam is cheese make backwards? But indeed it is. Right, let's see what this highlight is going to show us. Oh my god, hi, oh dear lord. Oh, what a miss. What a miss from Raphael Hay. That's a shocker. Nothing's worse than Cats. Thank you, Grizzly P. For context, DM Basis took delivery of his first slamming sauces made by Marv. Fabulous stuff. Fabulous. So, obviously, I take it you've got the jalapeno one. Which other ones did you go for? Blue Lions, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? Let's watch the movie adaptation of it about 6 pints in. Ended up being one of the funniest movies you've seen. Shame it wasn't a comedy. Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it, really? Right, Johansson's going to take that spot up front again. Hay is going to be replaced by Farborg. Winther on for hold. And then Commandmore, fire up. Yeah, let's fire up for the last 15 minutes. I haven't seen the movie because I hate the musical so much. So Cats might be the worst, but Memory is one of the best as well, especially with the Lane page. Memory is a great song. That's fair. So you went for the jalapeno ketchup and the mango and habanero, but they're going to be gifts. The candied jalapeno was for me. Fair enough. I really like the mango and habanero one. So Cromo's a fan of the curry ketchup. I haven't had the curry ketchup, so I can't remember what did we have at yours. I can't remember what they were, but curry ketchup does sound good. Right, here's Farborg. Come on, time for something magical. Sends the cross in. Johansson can't get there. It comes to Noah. Noah gets the cross, and that's got to be it. No, Farborg at the far post, headed over, and it would have. He never really got over it properly. So, right, the last roll of the dice is Ochal on for the goal scorer. I have faith in Ochal to do something magical right at the end. The curry ketchup was out of stock. Oh. Look, Holbeck are a better team than us, or they're expected to do better than us. If we can hold on for the draw, that's a good result. But that's two big misses. Absolutely massive misses. We should have won this game. Ah, well. You can't win them all, right? Have to sympathise with you. It's just one of those days. Grizzly is not a fan of the song Memory. Oh, Memory. Na, 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 na. I can't remember any of the words. Na, 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 na. Nine is smiling alone. Yeah, da, 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 blah, da, 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 da. Yeah. So, they're all test flavours, but I think the ones we listed were the ones we had at the time. Takes a while to get proper approvals to launch new flavours, indeed. It sounds weird without context, but there's a petition to get them to release the Butthole Cat of Cats as they CJ'd them out, the theatrical release. I did read about that. Yes, it would be funny to have the butthole cut, but also at the same time, wanting the butthole cut is a very, very weird thing. Twitch goes spongy when Musterman starts singing. Is that connected? Quite possibly, and only with good reason, right? I can't believe how distraught Musterman was about ketchup being. I mean, I was definitely that, and not the shocking miss. Grizzly says the only good Andrew Lloyd Webber has ever produced was Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. And RJ has redeemed a little bit of missing 11. So shall we do the honours with that then? Let's pop on over. And once again, so let me explain how missing 11 works. Oh no. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Well, it looks like I forgot to block all those bits off. So oh, bless me. I am very much a professional, right? Very, very much a professional. Shall we play a game of bingo though instead? Prost Reamer. I am a Reamer of Prost. That is very, very true. A Scribe's favourite musical song has to be "Do You Hear the People Sing?" A fine choice. I mean, for me, it's probably going to be something from Little Shop of Horrors, Downtown. Is it Skid Row brackets Downtown or Downtown brackets Skid Row? Is an absolute classic. All right, let's head on over to bingo instead, because I am an idiot. So, currently up on your screen, on your chat, sorry, there should be a lovely little link to join the bingo room. If you haven't played before, it's quite simple. Everybody gets a card with 16 squares on it. We then all get the same 60 players revealed to us, one after the other. We have to work out whether they match a square. If they do, you click on the square. It locks it in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player there. If they don't match a square, you click skip. You let the time run out. You try and get bingo. It's bingo. So what I'll do is I'll give it like a minute or two or so for people to sign up, and then we'll head on in and do a little bit of bingo, eh? Lestry likes a bit of Phantom of the Opera, but you're a sucker for anything Sarah Brightman. Showing your age there, Lestry. Showing your age. People didn't see anything. Be a Dentist is a great song, Grizzly, as well. Mean Green Mother from Outer Space is a great song. You can't go wrong with Rocky Horror Picture Show either. Time Warp is a classic, but I'd love to give a shout out for Hot Patootie, the Meatloaf song. Like, that's just a proper rock and roll song. Absolute classic. Right, RJ has gone incognito. Can we work out which one is RJ? He's definitely not the Belgian dude. Sorry, he's not Belgian dude because he is a Belgian dude. So we don't have to consider that might be him, eh? Be a dentist. Is that from present day Mulan? Be a dentist. Do you not know Cuckoo Smash? Do you not know Be a Dentist? As sung by Steve Martin in the film version of Little Shop of Horrors. In the more recent, well, is it 70s or 80s? The Steve Martin, Rick Moranis one. The Jack Nicholson one is not as enjoyable. You made sure that you couldn't recognise him. We can't at all. Right, okay. I think we might be ready to head on in. So if you've got the bingo open in another tab, head on over. The countdown will probably already be underway because there's a little delay between me saying the words and it appearing on your screen. Here we go. Let's see if someone can get bingo this time round. And we're going to start with Danielson, the left winger, and I can play him as a South American nice and early. Have a Schlager. Oh, we've got a Villa and we've got an Emery, which is quite nice for me. Well, depends on what the players are that we get. Wataru Endo. Let that one run out. I don't think he matches any of those. Matt Doherty. Former Wolves, former Tottenham. Feels like a player who should have played at West Ham at some point, right? Matthijs de Ligt. Has de Ligt won the Europa League at any point? No, we're going to go safe with Juventus. Jeremy Doku. That's one that I know for sure has won the Champions League, so I can certainly play that one. So Ross Barkley, I will go with managed by Emery in case we get some older Villa players in there. Paulo Dybala. I'll let that one run out. The Liga Golden Boot's going to be pretty rough, I have a feeling. Napoli could end up being rough. I don't think Bergkamp could have scored in the Champions League. No, he couldn't have. Did he? No, he didn't. Draxler constantly linked with a move to the Premier League that never transpired. Oscar Bob. Did Oscar Bob move to... Was it Oscar Bob who moved to Fulham? That was a surprise move. Yusuf Fofana, central defensive midfielder. Another one I'm going to skip there. Patrice Evra. Does he win the Europa League? I feel like he could have done, but we're going to play him for French. Do we just play Gavi for Spain? Because that's nice and straightforward. I think we do. Marek Hamšík. We've got a Napoli that we can do nice and confidently. Right, Fernandinho. I'm not sure on that one. Matty Cash for Villa. Andre Gomes. I don't know enough of his playing history to know if he matches any of those. He's probably played in the Portuguese league, actually, hasn't he? I mean, that would have been the obvious choice to go for, but I'm an idiot. Ah, well. Right, Victor Boniface. Does he want to... Potentially, I don't think he ever played in Portugal. Bono. I thought it had a U. He was spelt with a U. Was it the nickname is Bono, but Yasin Bunu is spelled differently? Oscar Cardozo. Played in the Portuguese league. That is the Benfica Cardozo, right? Cesc Fabregas did not play with Cesc Fabregas. So we'll have to let that one run. We've fallen foul of that in the past. Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz feels like a player who will end up at West Ham at some point in his life. Rich Son's favourite player, it's Brian Brobby. Has Brian Brobby scored in a UCL final? Don't think so. Raul Albiol will not have won the Golden Boot. Never played for Arsenal. Diego Forlan. Did he score in a UCL final? Did he win La Liga Golden Boot? I'm going to risk it. Sol Campbell is going to be a skip. Nico Gonzalez. Played with, not under Fabregas. Although as Nico, didn't it? No, Nico didn't play under. I'm thinking of Nico Paz. George Campos is another skip. Thomas Souček we can play for West Ham. Which meant we could have probably played him. Did West Ham win or was it the Conference League they won? See, this is why I don't like these. Batistuta never made it, so that did it. Oh, he could have been. Like, I'm so bad with the UEFA Cup, Europa League one. Just like there's all these players that played for teams that weren't quite the top teams, and so you're like, well, they could have done, right? They could have done. Diego Costa must have played for Fabregas at Spain, right? Christian Pulisic is a skip. Rafa Marquez is a skip. Davor Schuker is a skip. Isco is a skip. John Stones is Italian. David Ginola played for Arsenal and Real Madrid. Dante. Okay, into the last 15 now. We need an Italian and we need an Arsenal and Real Madrid player. And I'm starting to worry that we're not going to get it. John Carew is bigger than me and you. Lewis Openda in there. Hey. Nicolas Anelka. Did Anelka ever end up at Real Madrid? Aubameyang didn't. Di Stefano. He's every nationality. We know that about Di Stefano, right? He's played for absolutely every nationality that there's ever been. So, the last two, Lucas Podolski in there right at the end. So Bono didn't win the Europa League with Villarreal. I mean, that would have been that sounds like a fair shout. DM Basis was bloody close, or DM Bingo. Blue Lions, sensational work as well. Then we've got Ladislav Almasi and Krodmo, joint third. Then FMGNG, Griezmann Forever, Rich Sun UK and Char Char all tied for fifth. Sensational work there. So Johnny Trotter had a square for Belgian League represented by two waffles. Incredible. Incredible. RJ36 is just done. Everyone loves a bit of consistency, right? Everyone loves a bit of consistency. Am I sure that Cesc didn't play with himself at least once? I mean, that's a fair point. That is absolutely fair cop. Right, so sensational work. 5 points go to Blue Lions and DMB. 3 points to Almasi, Krodmo, 1 point each to GNG, Grizz, Rich, and Char Char. Sensational work. And we've got a break coming up, so I will see you in 3 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am one of the Twitch streamers. Yeah, we'll work it out in the end. One of these days, I will eventually work out how to stream, eh? It really is seeming to chug quite a bit when we click continue. So I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn off a few more CPU cores for FM, so that it should be a little bit slower there, but hopefully a little bit less jerky. We'll see. You've never noticed my brilliant facial expressions until you muted it. Thank you, Blue Lines. It's why I'd make a very, very bad liar, because my face gives everything away. So I am just lip syncing. That's what I'll have to do from now on, just to mess with people. So he moved to Bayern the year that Di Maria joined. There we go. There we go. Right, Batshit is injured. Oh, just for a day. That's no worries. Our next game is going to be away against Nykirving. That's the team we beat in the final game of pre-season. So we should feel. I mean, it's 2-1, but we should. They're favourites to go up. We should feel like we've got some chance. I think the friendly was at home though. So is it the new game we're doing to try to read the lips? It will be for the next stream. It will be. So Rick, have we already decided the alphabet goat for today? We have indeed. It was an absolute one-sided affair where some might say a reasonable contender for greatest of all time, regardless of letter. Franz Beckenbauer came out on top. So Battistuta polled quite well. Roberto Baggio, Franco Baresi getting a lot of disrespect in the votes. And to be fair to Baresi, I mean, I think if Beckenbauer wasn't there, Baresi would have picked up some of Beckenbauer's votes. But when you've got two relatively comparable players and one of them is Franz Beckenbauer, perhaps it's a little unfair on him, bless. Ross Barkley clearly won. We wished Charles Barkley was one of the GOATs for sure. Have you seen Charles Barkley looking very, very slender? It's obviously, you know, he's quite a stocky fellow in his prime. So seeing him a little bit more wiry is quite an odd sight. No Gareth Bale. I don't think he's better than Franz, but surely deserved a shout. We had some fabulous shouts. Gareth Bale was in there. Now, this does depend on me being able to read my handwriting, but there was Barthez, there's Busquets, there's Bergkamp, there's Bastoni, Bowen. We were getting some very bad suggestions as well. Winston Bogard was in there, Bale was in there, Beckham was in there, Marco Bugas, maybe not, Dino Baggio, some Barry Bannon, Gareth Barry, Mario Basler, Zvonimir Boban, Jean-Marc Bosman, Aitana Bonmati, Nicholas Bentner, George Best, Jude Bellingham, Tierno Barry, Thomas Berthold, Andreas Bremer, Mario Balotelli. There are some fabulous suggestions in there, and some less than fabulous suggestions in there. But you know, the more suggestions, the better. And some that didn't, that came along after we started the vote. So we missed out on a whole host of Belgian wonders like Benteke and Batshuayi and Buffel. How did Tierno Barry not win? I don't know. I think he was robbed. D-Law's back. Now you've got to take a break from work now to download the attribute list skin. Good luck with it, sir. Good luck with it. Charles Barkley has the best NBA nickname ever, the Round Mound of Rebound. It is a cracking. It's a very 80s nickname though, isn't it? Like nowadays you have like really quick, snappy nicknames. You wouldn't be calling someone the Round Mound of Rebound in the 2020s, that's for sure. Right. what's going to be our changes? Herefort's had a couple of bad games. I like Linger. He's back from injury, so we're going to pop you in there. Batshit is like he's fit enough to play, but we'll bring Porsgrunn back onto the bench. Stojanovic has had a couple of underwhelming games, shall we say. So let's give Svensson back his chance behind the striker. Chuck Johansson up front. And we will drop to cautious from the start. So we'll see that. Barkley is D-Law's favourite NBA player. Runner-up is Manu Ginobili. Quality players. I mean, as a Cavs fan, obviously there's only one player that I can ever say will be my favourite. And that is obviously Big Z. Big Z Adalskis. I mean, or Anderson Vareo. Quite like Larry Nance and Larry Nance Jr. Mark Price. But no, yeah, joking aside, LBJ is the GOAT. I mean, I won't have anything else. I won't take any suggestions of bias whatsoever. Yeah, clearly bias. Some people even choose their nickname themselves in the NBA. I mean, yeah, they've got nicknames by the time they're in high school, haven't they? Kyrie Irving, I loved Kyrie Irving before he went a little bit off the deep end. We wouldn't have our championship without Kyrie. And we arguably would have had more than one championship if we'd been able to keep our big three fit for all those finals. Kevin Love, quality player. He's just a little bit behind the rest in quality, bless him. So Oliver's made it to the Champions League semi-final with Derby. Fantastic work, sire. And Anthony Bennett. But yeah, the less said the better, eh? RJ was talking about my favourite king, Kyrie. My favourite, yeah, LeBron. I mean, but his nickname's LBJ, isn't it? No, nobody calls the thing about the self-assigned nickname of King James is that only King James calls himself King James. Right, here we go. We've got another chance potentially here for another team whose name I can't pronounce. Here's Dahl. Dahl in behind. That's a shocking piece of goalkeeping. Did Chang lift his foot over the ball? I mean, they are just passing around us with ease. Here's Nyman to Dahl. Dahl. He moves his leg out of the way. You tit. You absolute tit. Right, we're immediately going to demand more. I think we're going to have to increase the mentality a little bit. We're going to need to start chasing. This could be a big loss as a result. So, Mike, you're a Spurs fan. I mean, none of the Tottenham nonsense. I mean, where does Kawhi sit in your reckoning? So Chubby, T-Wolves, K-Love was something else. Timberwolves, K-Love was amazing. So Cromwell spoke to Mrs. C for a moment and then came back to the stream and everyone is talking utter nonsense. We're talking about a great sport. Cavs fan, Mark Price. I mean, did I say, I might have said Kevin Price, the former Villa player. But yes, I meant Mark Price. Okay, we've had some shots, even if none of them were highlight worthy. Our assistant manager expects us to lose, so he's been quite happy with them in his response, but that's fine. Let's see what the second half is in store. We've been okay at coming from behind, so that's what she said. Maybe there's hope for us. First 10 minutes or so goes by. We'll probably shout a little bit more at them. Yeah, let's get a demand more in. Right, here we go. Del Suze with the header. That's never going in. Skov with a dive for the cameras there. Del Suze's yellow card and Hayes on a yellow card. They're wingers though. Killerick is injured, so on comes Kjola. Del Sue's out. Stojanovic up front. We're on that, so I'm not too worried about the wingers getting second yellow cards, but Del Sue's was also the more tired of the two. So Kawhi is one of your favourite players ever, best perimeter defender I've seen. Don't blame Kawhi, you blame Uncle Dennis. I mean, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Kawhi's defense, absolutely incredible. The shouting will continue until morale improves. Exactly. Right. A little bit of encouragement. We're going up to positive. And then we make our next substitutions. So, Aalborg on. And Ochalon. Let's see if Farborg is any better on that side. No one wants to play on the left. Okay. So let's see. Can we have some more late drama? We've managed an equaliser in injury time. We've scored a winner in injury time. If we can get something here, that would be nice. Here's Larson now. Larson trying to create some space by turning around in a circle a lot. We flick it in. Here's Linger to Svensson. Svensson from distance. Oh! Ooh! That I thought that was going to be an easy save. It was just narrowly wide. Kind of fizzed through there. And so the last change is going to be Linger off and Forsgren on. Do we have one shout? Do we have enough time to fit in one last shout? Yeah, does depend what the highlight's going to be potentially here. Here we go. Farborg, come on. Come on, lads. You can do this. Farborg, cross to Linger. Linger to Noah now. Svensson beats Stojanovic. The flag stays down. Yes! Get in. Another late miracle. Was he onside? Oh, yeah. Yeah, plenty fine. And Stojanovic strokes it back half. Beautiful stuff. It all turned out for the best. You do have Wemby now. Very true. Wemby might miss 65 games. Is he going to be out for that long? Easy. Welcome in, Mandarin. How are you doing? Will this be on YouTube as well? So Mandarin, the live VODs will be on YouTube and it's being streamed on YouTube. A series... It's been disallowed! Oh, I was about to cry. And then there will be, like a couple of months down the line, a mockumentary style video series which will focus on what this has happened, but it'll be a little bit, it won't be as granular as streaming is. But the live VODs will be there as well. Cocky Smash had already answered me. It already answered me. I didn't even need to say it. Thank you very much, dude. So Mike, he won't. He needs to play 20 minutes in one of the final two games. Has a rib contusion. That's more about pain management. He'll be fine. So D-Law started as a Nuggets fan back in the 80s, and we also have a more than demigod now. True. I mean, it's been a very, very good few years for you the last few years now. So yeah, we've got to be happy with that, right? We deserved more. We deserved more than the draw, but we left it late to get that equaliser. So we're in a solid position. Let's see how bad Kilovic's injury is. Just a couple of weeks. That's absolutely fine as well. Let's remember to give some of these players a rest. And I feel like I have no idea who our front four should be. But otherwise, I'm feeling okay. We've got another game. We've played all of the predicted top four in our first 5 games. We haven't played Fem. So we've played Nurkoping, we've played Holbeck. Our next game is at home against Disco 2000. No apology needed, Mandarin. How are you anyway, my dude? It won't be as granular streaming as, which is mostly chat reminding me that I'm on mute. Exactly. Only the best go on mute. G&G, exactly. This was just a tribute, a pastiche, if you will. It's always the best moments that get cut in the edit. So, I mean, I'd say one of the things I'm very keen on, and no one really cares about the mechanics behind it all, is I don't like YouTube series that show just stream footage, because it's like you're being inserted into you're watching in like internal jokes. It just feels so detached, and like someone's put a video together that says, hey guys on YouTube, I don't care about you, you can have my scraps. So yeah, it'll be something a little bit different as a result, and that's just me being a snob. So Gamefish, your face then was the gift for the exact moment his heart breaks of Ralph Wiggum. I can imagine it was. I genuinely thought we'd thrown it away at the last moment there. Grizzly P says you don't understand people who say Jokic is boring. He plays the most entertaining fundamental basketball I've ever seen. I mean, he's wonderfully entertaining. He's such an expressive passer. But I also get that, you know, I think you have to be a certain type of fan to like big man basketball. I love stuff in the paint. I very much prefer someone that's able to dominate physically and create space accordingly, and then has the vision and the creativity to go with it. Whereas modern basketball is more about quick movement and threes, and I think that as a result, Jokic is always going to get criticised from the aesthetic side of the game, which is nonsense. That shouldn't be the case whatsoever, but you know, it is what it is, right? Ronald McGuffin agrees with Grizzly. Tico, welcome in. I know you probably have this often, but your skin helped me find new love for the game and appreciate it. I thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it, sir. D-Law, Cleveland, the best ever team here must be the Guardians. The click. We've not had a great history with teams from the actually, no, that's not true. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens are basically the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore Ravens Super Bowls are the Cleveland Browns Super Bowls as far as I'm concerned. So we've got a good American football team. It's just they don't happen to play in Cleveland. Hey, welcome in, Brazilian Fury. How you doing, sir? Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for the bits. And Cromo, thank you very much for doing the shout out. You're an absolute gentleman. How you doing, Chris? So Rick's main issue with Jokic is his lack of effort on defense. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. So Mike's been watching the NBA since 1989, seen MJ, Kobe, Shaq. Jokic is still the best overall offensive player you've ever seen. That is high praise indeed. Ladislav, a massive fan, reckons he's the Jared Bowen of basketball. You don't watch basketball. I mean, if Jared Bowen was like 9 feet tall and built like Akinfenwa, maybe. Welcome in, Vangelis. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. D-Law grew up with Magic versus Bird as well. Yeah, I was a little bit later onto the scene. I mean, I properly getting into basketball would have been the MJ 90s run, but I love Magic Johnson. There was something so gloriously graceful about the way that he played. I mean, like his vision, his court vision, his basketball IQ, which is why I think I am also biased towards LeBron, right? Because that facilitating player rather than the goal scorer, rather than a point scoring player, is something I'm definitely drawn to. I mean, like, both of them are still excellent scorers, right? But just the way they coordinate everything, the mixture of their physicality along with the finesse that they bring as well, definitely my favorite type of basketball player. Blue Lions reckons you've nailed that comparison because you don't watch basketball either. Only if Bowen were like that, I might watch a West Ham game. I think if Bowen were like that, Danny Dyer would be very worried for his daughter as well. I mean, someone who'd be built 7 foot tall and like 5 foot wide. think a better comparison for Bowen is Kyle Korver. I will have no Kyle Korver slander. He's that special. There's a special. What's the best way of putting this? There was a special type of gaunt, lanky, white guy that you describe him as a 3-D player without the D. He does one thing and he does it really well. And the rest of the time, he just looks like he doesn't want to be there, bless him. Josh says Jokic is unbelievably good, but gets unfairly criticised because he doesn't have a fast-paced play style that people are obsessed with. Exactly. I agree with you. That kids are obsessed with, indeed. Welcome in, Dodgy Rolex. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for the bits as well. The video on the export function works, has found your new love for the game again. That's great to hear. But the credits all got to go to Vinterset. Vanterset. It's him and the Brazilian community in large do a lot of great modding work behind the actual tool itself. Fabulous work that has made life so much easier. Kyle Korver is Ashton Kutcher with a jump shot. Yeah, and perhaps slightly less of a douche than Ashton. Only slightly less though. Landisam, our massive fan, says you don't think being compared to Bowen is slander. I just mean it as someone who got disrespected because he isn't as entertaining or aesthetically exciting as other players in his position. That's fair. I wouldn't have suggested that Bowen was slander. I was just saying because they're very... I was thinking more from a technical game play style of way where Jokic is more of a bully, whereas as opposed to thinking of in terms of reputation. So yeah, perfectly valid. Just different frames of reference, and as you don't watch basketball, that'd be unfair to be critical of, right? So Grizzly says that Jordan was an underrated playmaker. He didn't have Maddic's or Bron's vision, but his gravity created so many shots for his team. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't be that good of a player and not be a good playmaker. But there is definitely that trade-off, right? You have the exceptional exceptional point scoring of Jordan and good playmaking. You have the exceptional playmaking of Johnson and good point scoring. They're still like their weaknesses are still a level above virtually the rest of the league. And obviously you can't talk about MJ without talking about his defense either. I'm very careful to not say that you can't talk about MJ without talking about his D. I mean, I've just said it, but you know, it'd be a bit weird if we started talking about his D. Actually, probably not even that weird. I mean, we're only one day away from Friday, and that's for DILFs, right? Majak Kid's skills, surviving HIV back in the name with a wife named Cookie. I mean, he had to deal with a hell of a lot. He had so much to carry whilst also being an excellent player, and that is something that you can't necessarily quantify or qualify particularly well. Jokic is more prime Busquets than Bowen. How dare you, indeed. Gaming Fishy heard Jokic referred to as a big bag of milk for the first half of the season, as he always started the season underdone and picked up his game towards the end of the season. I mean, I'm a big fan of milk. I wouldn't mind being called a big bag of milk. That's not the worst description I've ever heard. I'm on board with that. Right. Stojanovic scored, so he comes back in. Del Sue's only got subbed off because of his yellow card and low health. I think, yeah, we go with that. We're at home. We're going to start balanced. Well, we're going to revert back to balance, right? Quadmo's excited by the mention of Dills. That's a toasted. You're doing an English bottom division to Prem Moneyball save in FM24. How do you come up with tactics that will work and be consistent throughout so I don't have to keep changing formation? So, toasted, I mean, obviously, it really depends on your playstyle preferences and so on. So Generally speaking, I will have a tactical idea in mind, and as I go through with the videos, it generally wants to follow the basic tactical knowledge of modern football. So you want to make sure that you have a solid rest defence in possession. You want to make sure that you have players occupying the channels and you've got a mixture of creativity and threats, and you think about what those... Oh, this is really stuttery. Really, really stuttery. What those... basically, you ask yourself the question how you're going to score, and you're going to build around those ideas. And generally speaking, I don't have to change the tactic unless it's something I want to change. You can have something pretty solid most of the way through. We're 1-0 down again from the off. Again, a good team, FA2 2000. Here's a corner into the far post. I don't like this inability to defend corners thing. Jan Sommer into the far post. Artici. Oh, is it a post? Is it a save? Fire up. Go to positive. We should be 2-0 down. We should be 2-0 down. Nothing much happening so far. As soon as that shout comes on, come on, come back shouts. I want to demand more. Now we do have our assistant manager's preferred roles, which we can switch to. So we're running with the default. We've got that saved as to what his preferred roles are. So that can be an option potentially. But this ain't looking good at the moment. We've had a couple of shots, but a grand total of 0.11 xg. Bugger. In Cocky's much, to be fair, a fence in the shape of a D is definitely something you should discuss. I mean, it's something that shouldn't be allowed, just indecent in public, right? Crudmo isn't talking about MJ's D, but he is talking about milk. So G&G's hoping that Brown and Tatum back together might mean a deep playoff run for the Celtic. Respectfully, G&G, I'm hoping that the Celtics are rubbish because they always knock us out. Here we go. Can we get something at the end of the half? Stojanovic, it's bouncing around, and there we go. That's the end of the half. We've been a little bit rubbish. 9 shots, 0.21 xg. We have improved since we shouted at them, but we're not creating chances of any real quality. I wonder, can Del Suze play on the right? Not really. Barball can't really play on the left. Where can Del Suze play? Nowhere useful. Screw it, we're going to swap them around anyway, because I'm not allowed to make any so I can't really make tactical changes. Maybe having opposite foot players will just give us something a little bit different in that second half. I mean, Fireball's having a pretty rubbish game, so I don't think he's going to stay on the pitch for much longer. But we'll see how it goes, right? So Mike says, you've done Park to Prem twice in FM26. The key for you was finding good out of possession formation. In possession would change game by game, but the OOP was the same from tier 6 to Prem. I think that when you've got a system that you know and you are comfortable with, that makes a huge difference. So Brazil, and you said, General, hope you're all well, and how the stream series been so far, Mossman? It's going well. It's nice to be back. It does feel quite weird, and I'm very raw. A lot of being on mute after breaks. So exactly the same as before I left, really. Right, Linger's going to come off as well. So we've got Hay. Do we put... Right, Johansson's going to swing out to the right. That's going to be... We haven't had any shots in this second half at all. Just a little bit worrying. But yeah, it's going well. How have you been, my dude? Mr. Grizzly P can't hear FA2000 without hearing Disco 2000. The good news is I'm not going to submit you to another rendition of it. At least not for a moment, that's for sure. The D-Laws reinstalled the game now and barely passed the age gate. I mean, age gate, never something I've had to worry about. Less. So Rich says, Quadmo, anyone 10 years or more in, how long has it taken for a new gen to make the top 10 players in the world? You finally happened in 2033. It's one of yours. I mean, 2033s, that's pretty... So, I mean, top 10, okay. No, I was going to say top 10. I was going to say to be the top player in the world, you've got to be better than players like Lamine Yamal, but top 10, there's much more scope there. Right, our last change is going to be... Ochal on. Barella's coming on for Larson. We've got attacking midfielders on the pitch now in place they shouldn't be. Yeah, no late miracle this time. No late miracle to come. We've had some fortunate games. We've had some unfortunate games. But it does look like we are heading to our first defeat as Thompson sends it in, and that should have been 2-0. I mean, it should have been 3-0. They should have had another goal earlier on as well. So welcome in, YT Clips. Give you a team to rebuild because you're stuck. Sheffield Wednesday. They're the obvious choice, right? Big points deduction. Maybe holiday until the first season is complete. Pick them up in League One and see if you can handle all their financial difficulties. That last shot of theirs was like 0.7 XG. That header really should have been a goal. So we crashed to our first defeat. But not too bad going so far. None of Quadmo's players have made the top 10. I think that's a reflection on the manager, really, isn't it? Let's be fair. G&G, it's mostly real players as well, and now he is 10 years in. So that drops us down to 7th. That's not too bad. Obviously, it's too early on in the season to make any like judgment calls, but I think we've been pretty solid. We're one win, 3 draws, 1 defeat. We've scored 6 goals. We've conceded 5. So 2 goals a game on average. 1 for us, 1 for the opposition. We start games very badly, and I wonder how much of that is because they don't respect us. We have no qualifications. We have no playing experience. We are an absolute nobody in terms of the players' eyes. So maybe that's part of why we start slow. Maybe we need to start on cautious and build up from there potentially. So things are good with Brazilian. You'll be happy to know you did enable that save idea we talked about on Discord. You're 4 seasons in already. Incredible stuff. Great to hear as well. That'll be an absolute treat. Right. This is, though, the point. I'm going to bid you all adieu because it is, once again, literally almost exactly the same as Tuesday. I'm starting to feel that tickle in my throat, and I'm not going to let myself lose my voice. We'll just ease ourselves back into streaming gradually. Next time I'll be streaming looks like it's going to be on the 18th. So that'll be Saturday the 18th. Now, if you want, I'll be popping the schedule up on Discord. So if you want to head on over, join up. Love to see you guys all in there. Now, YouTube, I'm going to say good night to you first. Good night. It's only 1:30. Goodbye to you guys first. And then over on Twitch, we'll go out. We're going to raid. We're going to spread the love. So I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been here, especially the NBA chat, D-Law, Mike, Toast, gaming. I can't say any names. See, not just as my voice going, but I can't form sentences. Josh, Gaming Fishy, lovely to see you. YT Clipped, Toast as well. Great to have you guys in. Thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you next time. And then now over on the lovely old